sports development is a necessary facet of sectoral growth in the modern era, not only because of revenue promise and other advantages, but also generational impact at international tournaments, which is a proven unifier of citizens around the world, including Nigeria. That's our focus on Special Report. This talent, whether Nigerian or of Nigerian descent, are known across certain sporting fields that has put down a marker that in Africa, Nigeria is one. But how is this perceived through the lens of their peers who play football but haven't yet been signed, but are no less talented?
Let me talk about Nigeria first and foremost, because this is our nation, this is our country. It is you go back to the grassroots. That is where you start from, and then going to the grassroots means going to the schools, primary schools, secondary schools, not probably tertiary institutions. But there are also players, talented players who you can get from.
3 forwards eligible to represent Nigeria at the international level have been named amongst the 100 nominees for the 2025 Golden Boy Award, which honors the best under-21 player in world football. The prestigious accolade has been a benchmark for emerging global talent for over 2 decades. The 100-man shortlist includes Arsenal's Ethan Nwaneri, Chelsea's Tyreek George, and Monaco's George Lenikena.
We have already identified the universities. There will be at least one university in each zone of the country that will be tagged as Center of Excellence for Sports. So in that university, we will now work with the private sector, with the government, to put the infrastructure, to put the coaches, to put everything. And then across that level of education, any athletes that we find within that level that is good enough can be transferred to those particular schools where they can further their education and also have the right training to do that.
That's a good one.
So those issues.
21-year-old British-Nigerian bowler David Agbons out of London joins us on Special Report. And as we turn our attention to youth football around the world, with particular bias for under-21 football and under-17 football, it's a blossoming group of talent all over the world who have displayed their cadence on the football pitch, if I can use that term, at the under-17 level, at the under-21 level. So we'll be talking now in a moment to David Agbons, a 21-year-old bowler from out of England in London. David, welcome to Special Report.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's get straight to the nitty-gritty. There are footballers who have talents in Nigeria, and there are those outside Nigeria, such as yourself, of Nigerian origin. Can you tell us, in the first place, what informed your passion for football at such a young age? As you told me, you started at the age of 11?
Yep.
So what? Go on.
It was just playing around with my friends, because at the time I was in primary school. So, you play around during lunch breaks, during break time. Then I started slowly seeing that I was at a different level to my friends at school. So then I went to a club and then started playing from there. Just went up, started progressing.
And tell us a little bit more about that journey. So from 11, you started out in London, right? So how was that journey up to the time where you reached a peak, and what's the next step for you now?
I think the next step for me now is, getting back into the swing of pre-season, playing consistently, getting minutes, scoring goals, assisting, getting my name out in the transfer window, because you never know what could happen.
You've done this whole thing from the time of the age of 11. Do you ever see yourself playing for Nigeria?
Of course, yeah. As a Nigerian that was born in Nigeria, of course.
You'd not play for any other country under any other circumstances. You're being raised in the UK, right?
Yep.
And you've been in the UK for how long?
15 years.
Fantastic. So tell me what you think about how football is being played around the world. You have examples of those who started from the youth academy, such as in a lot of clubs right now. Well, let's take Messi, for instance, or let's take Trent, for instance, who started at a wee young age, and now they're international football superstars. Do you think you get enough support from academies in the UK? Do you think Nigerians get support?
To be very honest, I don't think so. I think the academy system is very systematic, and it's very they want you to play a certain way. Some academies have, built in strategies and how they do things and how they improve players. But that's like the top. We're talking about like Tottenham, Man U, Chelsea, all those kind of teams. That's why the best talents now are in those clubs right now, because of how the system is. But I do think there is room for improvement. I think there's a lot of things that academies could look into when improving young players, especially Africans, Nigerians, because Nigerians, raw power, strong, fast, but football now is all about technical ability. If you don't have that, you're not going to get far.
So can't you have the power as well as the technical ability?
Yeah, you can, but I'm saying that academies need to do more and try to help better those type of football players.
What clubs do you admire that you think you'd like to play for in the future?
To be honest, I think the way Arsenal play their football is very nice. Crystal Palace as well. I think those two, I like the way they play football. Very smooth, very, on the floor.
Right.
And it's nice to watch.
Well, what about West Ham?
Nah. Me and West Ham have a bit of rivalry when I was growing up.
Oh, really? Tell us about it. The
Yeah.
Hammers, right?
Yeah. So every time I'd play against West Ham, it would be just a straight war. But they're a good team though. They're a good team. But I wouldn't turn them down.
Okay. What do you think about teams like Brighton? How well they did in the last season, and teams like that, and even Man U.
Very, very underrated. Brighton, I think, very underrated. I think they play good football as well. I think they need a couple signings, and they'll be flying. I think Man U had a very underwhelming season, and they lost in the UEFA final, which is unfortunate. But I think this season they should bounce back. Every team has a bad season. So,
do you think Amorim is the answer? And that bad season seems to have been going on for a few seasons for Man U.
Yeah. I think they need to tweak some strategies in however they play. I think this season they'll do better. To be honest, I think they'll do better. I'm saying top 6.
I heard a lot of people blaming the players as against the managers who've been changed every so often. Do you share that view? Is it a player thing or a manager thing, or just managing time thing? Give them time and they will change, especially to adapt to Amorim's style of play.
It could be both, especially in the professional environment. A manager could not like you for no reason. It could happen. And a player could not like the way the manager wants to play. So I think there's been a lot of clashes in the changing room, on the training ground, in matches. So I think that's why they haven't done as well as they should have. But I think, like I said again, I think that this season they will bounce back and they'll play good football like they were before in previous years.
Tell us about your Nigerian mates in the UK who play football like you. Do they aspire to one day play for the national team, or would they rather play in the countries to whom they're accustomed?
I think they would like to play for this country that they're accustomed to, because they're so used to it. They're so used to the football. They're so used to the system. They've been in it. They've been in the system for so long. So why would they, change? If they're so used to something, why would they changed.
That's a very honest answer. And just before we let you go, looking forward at international football, you see how well the very young team of PSG is doing. See how the superstars have adapted to the challenge playing at the international level. Do you see more of that type of playing from other football teams where I know Arsenal has been trying to do it for a while, where they bring young ballers, which they've always tried to do, to practically take over the whole team?
Yeah, I think with what PSG done last season, winning the Champions League, and how they won it with who they had in the team as well, I think it sparked a lot of teams and a lot of young teams. Like there was a team in the Championship, I think. They won the playoff semi-finals. The average age was like 23. So I think we need more young footballers. When I was younger, I used to watch Neymar all the time. You know, the way he used to just play with a football like he was back in Brazil. We need more fluidity. We need more, fun. It's not every day. We need structure. Play to your left back, play to your right back. We need fluidity. We need football back. We need energy. We need excitement.
Who would your favorite manager be then? Certainly Mourinho. Yeah, Mourinho.
No,
good old.
I think I respect the PSG manager, and I also respect the Barcelona manager as well. Because you see, Lamine Yamal, he's 17. Trusting in a 17-year-old is not easy. And look what he's doing. He's scoring. I think he scored 100 goals just not too long ago for a 17-year-old. That is just amazing. So I respect those two managers. I also respect Arteta as well. I think, again, the way he plays his football is very nice. He's been unlucky for 3 seasons. I don't know if I'll call that unlucky, to be honest. But 3 seasons, second place every single time. Hopefully, they come out on top this season.
Fantastic. So, finally, for you, what would you like your future in football to be? Would you like to play in the English Premier League and then from then on go to play in Real Madrid or in Saudi Arabia or in the USA? Tell us what your projection for your future footballing career would you probably like to be.
I would prefer if I'd started in another country, simply so that I can, get used to playing constantly, playing all the time. Because as we know, not many young players in a Prem get minutes. I know a lot of good footballers my age and just a bit younger not getting enough minutes in a Prem, simply because the Prem is so, it's so, again, structured. It's hard. Prem is the top league in all 5 leagues.
Yeah.
In Europe. So it's understandable, but again, I think I'd prefer to play outside, maybe Germany, Spain, France, get my minutes in, get my goals in, get me used to playing in a professional environment in front of 20,000.
Fantastic. And that's a good way to put it, and that's a good way to end this interview. Thank you so much, David Agbons, in London, in the UK, playing football and looking to expand his horizon. Thank you for coming on Special Report.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
The youth remain Nigeria's continuum,